Hey everybody, what's up? Today's video is going to be a mini wear test and first impression on the new Pretty Fresh foundation by Colourpop. I saw Vianney Strick post her video late last night. Apparently this came out yesterday in stores in Ulta, and I was like, what? They have a foundation? What? Excuse me? And now that my Ulta down the street has opened up, they're open I think from 10 to 6. I went in there, grabbed this foundation and a few other things that I had in my cart. I'm so not an online shopper, so I was like, oh, I'm going to run in there. I know exactly what I want, and I'm going to grab it. But if you don't know and haven't seen on my channel before, I really love the Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer. I wear this all the time. It's just such a good tinted moisturizer. Really great for times like this. Obviously, we're still in quarantine. I didn't even really care like what this had to offer. I just knew that I loved the tinted moisturizer, and I was like, oh, I have to get it. Like, I have to get it. Okay, I'm having a little trouble trying to find some information about this online because you can only get it in store right now, apparently. So, mine is in the shade Medium 80W, which I thought was a little weird that they didn't match the shades up with the tinted moisturizer. My tinted moisturizer is in Medium 9W, and then again, the foundation's Medium 80W. And I looked at 90W, and it looked too dark. So, I don't know. I was a little confused about that. But it says on the front, it is a hydrating foundation. You get 1 fluid ounce. On the side, it says dermatologist tested, oil-free, and vegan. And then on the back, it says a hydrating foundation with skin perfecting medium buildable coverage for a natural, healthy looking skin. Prep your skin with Pretty Fresh primer, which I do not have. Use Pretty Fresh blending sponge or brush to apply and blend. I also do not have the sponge, but that's okay. We are going to do one side with the sponge and one side with a brush. I have a feeling I'm going to like it a little bit better or a lot better with the sponge, but we're going to see. This also says ideal for all skin types. It has hyaluronic acid, which the whole line is supposed to have hyaluronic acid in it, so, you know. And it also has coconut water, known to support hydration and skin softness. All right, so let's get into it. Let's just open the package here. I did open this in the store because how the hell else was I supposed to see my shade? It's kind of hard to see through. It is a frosted bottle, and it's plastic, I think. Right? Is this plastic? Yeah, this is plastic. But, like, it's a pretty sturdy plastic. Like, it looks like glass. It feels like glass, but I think it's a thick plastic, which is good because then you can travel with it and you don't have to risk breaking it unless you're doing some crazy shit. I don't know. But yeah, this looks really, really nice. It has a pump on there, so that's always nice as well. And the shade does look pretty good for me. I'm not sure if you can see there, but I'm really, really, really crossing my fingers and hoping that this matches. Alright, so I'm not going to use a primer. I did moisturize with this Kate Somerville Glow Moisturizer. I've used it before, so it's not too heavy. It's not going to make the makeup slide around or anything like that. But I didn't want to wear a primer because I want to see what this does. Does it have any blurring capabilities to it? Anything like that? So we're just going to test it out. I have my e.l.f. sponge here. This is the e.l.f. concealer sponge. And I'm going to go ahead and first pump this on the back of my hand. That was 2 pumps. So I feel like you get a pretty good amount. You can see... Sorry, it's not focusing. There we go. You can see it is pretty liquidy. It's really running down my hand there. So we're just going to get started. I feel like this is going to work pretty well for me. All right off the bat, the sponge really does soak up the product. So maybe I am going to like it better with the brush. We're going to have to see, right? It feels smooth to the touch. I can definitely tell right away that you get more coverage than the tinted moisturizer. If you guys do want to see a side-by-side comparison with the tinted moisturizer, I will definitely do a video for that. Just let me know. That way you can see like what the difference is. That way you can see the difference in coverage with the two. So for the color, this is definitely a color that I would go with. I do like to go with a shade that is a little bit darker than my skin tone, because if not, I feel like really pale. So I feel like this shade for me is to my liking. I would definitely blend it down the neck, and then of course bronze and all of that good stuff. So it does have medium coverage, but I feel like it is a good medium coverage. It doesn't accentuate my pores. I wouldn't say it necessarily blurs them though, but I feel like it does pretty good with the coverage. For me, this is going to just even out your skin tone, give a little more coverage than the Tinted Moisturizer, of course, but I can still see a little bit of redness and discoloration peeking through, which I'm okay with. I'm going to see if we can build it up a little bit, because it does say that it's buildable. I do have about this much left on the back of my hand, so I'm just going to take it directly on the sponge and go right in here to build it up. Now, I probably wouldn't put additional coverage unless I wanted to really have a fuller coverage, because typically with my concealer, I bring mine down, so it usually gives me more coverage right here, and I'm good with that. But it is definitely buildable. It's not cakey where I tried to build on that coverage, and I did get a little bit more coverage in that area. So yeah, I like it. It's not matte, and I wouldn't say it's super dewy. And I wouldn't say that it's shiny by any means either. I feel like it's got like a true skin-like finish. Also, with the second layer, I can say that it did kind of blur my pores just a little bit. It's not accentuating any of my dryness in this area. If you're new here, you don't know, but I do get dry in this area just from, you know, hormonal issues that I have. So it can, foundations can tend to make that a little bit more noticeable, but I wouldn't say that it did. And I just want to take a little bit and do my nose, because I didn't really put it on my nose. But yeah, I feel like side by side that looks pretty good. Again, that was 2 pumps. I feel like because I'm testing it out and playing with it, I needed 2 pumps. I feel like once you get the hang of this foundation, or any foundation for that matter, you don't normally need all of that product. I feel like because we're trying to see if it's buildable and all of that good stuff, you know. So I'm going to take 1 pump on the back of my hands, and I'm going to take this brush here. It's just a regular buffing foundation brush. Dip it into the foundation and go in. So I can definitely tell that I did not need as much foundation with the brush. I felt like I said right away, the sponge definitely soaked up a lot of the product. This is 1 pump, and I still have about half of it left. I'm going to take a little bit more and go on to the forehead. I can see that it's sitting on top of the skin just a little bit more than this side where I use the sponge. I feel like with a little bit more blending, then you would be fine. So far, I like it better with the sponge. I'm just going to go in with a little bit more, whatever's left on the back of my hand, and go right in here like we did with the sponge. Again, I only used 1 pump for this side. Okay, and again, you can build that up. The main difference between the 2 sides, I would say you definitely get more coverage with the brush. I used less on the brush side, but I like the sponge side better. I feel like you get a little bit more of a natural finish. So I'm just going to go in here and pat this down a little bit. All right, so first thoughts. First thoughts are, I like the foundation. This is definitely a foundation up my alley these days. I tend to not like a really full coverage foundation. Actually, let me take that back. I don't not like a full coverage foundation. I prefer a medium buildable foundation these days. The shade for me, like I said earlier, I do like to go a little bit darker than my own skin tone, just because I tend to look a little pale if I go with my natural skin tone. So just, you know, we're not going to judge there. We're not going to judge. You know, we don't do that here. I mean, that is what I think so far. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on, see how it lays on top, and then I'll come back, talk to you guys, and then of course we'll check in throughout the day. All right, so this is what it looks like with the rest of my makeup on. So far, I'm impressed. Like, I'm really impressed. It's actually crazy because I feel like with foundations, I always expect it not to be good. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that. But anyway, so far so good. I feel like it still looks great. I put bronzer on, which was a new bronzer. I did not know how it was going to work out, but I tried a new bronzer. Did not set my face. I set my under eyes, but I did not set my face. And the bronzer blended on so well. The blush went on well. Concealer blended well on top of it. I used a NYX concealer. I did not use the Colourpop one because mine's in the wrong shade. But I'm liking it. So it's 6:18 right now. We are going to go have dinner at his mom's house. So I'm going to be cooking a little bit. And hopefully it will stay intact, and we'll check in a little bit and see how it is. I'll probably close this video like vlog style, so I hope that's okay for you guys. Stay tuned. Wanted to show you guys in natural lighting. It's a little bit bright out here, so but this is what it looks like. So looking pretty good. I did notice that this side, I don't know if you can see, but a little tiny bit, the one that I did with the sponge, it is a little bit more blurred. I don't know if you can tell, but so far so good. Let's see what time it is actually. It is 6:49, so we're still going strong. But I just wanted to check in and show you guys what it looked like in natural daylight. So it's 8:30. This is what the foundation is looking like. Still looks pretty good to me. Getting a little dark under my eyes, but the foundation looks pretty good. There's a guy walking his dog. He's probably like, what the fuck are you doing? But anyway, looks pretty good to me. Next time I check in, it will probably be at home. But yeah. All right, real quick, I just wanted to come on and do a little outro and wrap up this video. It's 9:06 right now. And I feel like it still looks pretty good. I am starting to get oily right down the center, like basically the T-zone area. My hair looks like shit too, and so do my lashes because I'm the worst lash putter oner. No, but to stay on track, I feel like it looks pretty good. My nose is just a tiny bit starting to break up a little bit. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer so you can see what I mean. So the nose is starting to break up a little bit, but it's nothing to really worry about. I'm definitely more dewy. Some people might like this. I'm not really a person who likes to be dewy too much, so I would basically just take my sponge and blot any of the oil and be good to go, honestly. If you're not following me on Instagram, I definitely would, because that's where I go and I follow up on things, or I go on my stories and tell you any updates on products that I either feature on Instagram or on here, and TikTok as well. So definitely make sure that you're following me on there, because you will get more updates on there. But other than that, that's it for this video. If you guys are going to, or have already by some chance, tried this foundation, I know it just came out yesterday, I think, but if you've tried it, if you're planning on trying it, or you've seen other reviews, let me know what you think down below. Give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you go. And until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Bye. Shut up. Oh, I thought I wasn't recording. So right now, it is 6:18, so what, it's been about like 40, no, it's been like 20 minutes. What am I talking about?
Hi, everybody.